What's up, guys? It's another big Saturday, and I'm at my local shoe palace to pick up an incredible pair of infrared Air Jordan 6s. Today marks a really special day for the Air Jordan 6 because Nike actually released two different versions of the infrared colorway. The first, and the one that we're going to talk about today, is the traditional OG white infrared color. And the second pair was even more exclusive. I ordered them online at 5 o'clock this morning, and when I get them later this week, I promise to do a video on them. They're known as the Infrared 23 edition, and the whole upper of the shoe is infrared with black accents on it. It sort of reminds me of when Nike launched the Fire Red 3s way back in 2006, and the very same day, they also launched the Flips. Remember the Air Jordan 3? The big thing about it was the elephant print. So in addition to releasing the OG Fire Red colorway that day, Nike also made a pair of Flips where the whole upper of the shoe was elephant print. Much like that, today, we had the OG pair of Air Jordan 6s, and the big thing on the 6, one of them anyway, is the infrared colorway, and so we got infrared all over the upper on that shoe. Anyway, without further ado, I want to break out this pair of shoes, do a little bit of unboxing. I'm really excited that Nike retroed this pair of shoes. It's actually the second time that Nike's ever retroed the infrared colorway. The first time was in 2010 as part of the infrared pack that came along with a black suede infrared version. Back in the day, in 1990 and 91, Nike actually released 5 different colorways of the Air Jordan 6. The white infrared, the black infrared, a pair of sport blues that are set to release later this year, a pair of carmines that are also set to release later this year, and a pair of maroon 6s that we haven't heard anything about. But a lot of people are saying that this year is going to be the year of the Air Jordan 6, so don't be surprised if we get the maroons and maybe some colors that we've never seen. Nike's been saying a lot about Michael Jordan winning his very first championship in the Air Jordan 6. And as they've been selling this shoe today and promoting it for the last month, they've been saying MJ won his first championship in infrared 6s. And that's only partially true because Michael actually was wearing the black and infrared 6s during the entire championship run against the Lakers. All 5 of the games, he wore the black colorway. But for now, come on up here, have a closer look at this color. Let's talk about it. This shoe is amazing, and it actually marks the first time that Nike got away from the white, black, and red Chicago Bulls colorways of Air Jordans. We all know that the Air Jordan 1 through 5 had white, black, and red versions of them, but the 6 never had that colorway, at least not originally. During the retro era, of course, we've got the varsity red and black pair. We've got a white and varsity red pair that's known as the Chicago Bulls. But back in the day, it was only infrared. And if you think about what was going on in the world of fashion in the early 90s, fluorescent colors was really a big deal. So it's no surprise that Nike put this bright fluorescent shade of infrared on the Air Jordan 6. I want to start at the bottom, at the outsole of this shoe, and talk about everything that's special about this pair of kicks. So you'll notice clear icy soles down here. This is the second pair of Air Jordans to feature clear icy soles. The first pair was actually the Air Jordan 5. But kids and parents were complaining that the kids were slipping on basketball courts in the shoes, so Tinker changed up the outsole of this shoe. The shoe was designed by Tinker Hatfield. It was the 4th pair of Air Jordans designed by the legendary Tinker Hatfield. Tinker changed up the outsole of the shoe down here to make this rubber grip the ground better so that they wouldn't be slippery for kids. Let's turn the shoe back right side up and have a look at the upper. And let's stay down here at the midsole. We said earlier this infrared colorway was a departure from the Chicago Bulls white, black, and red. Infrared was also popular on the Air Max 90, a shoe that originally came out by Nike in 1990, around the same time as the Air Jordan 6. You're also going to see an air bubble back here. The Air Jordan 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the only Air Jordans to feature traditional visible air windows. The Air Jordan 16 has a little bit of visible air, but it's very different than the air bubble on this shoe. And this is really the last one to feature the traditional air bubble. Now let's look up here at the upper of the shoe. And there's something really cool that a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to turn the shoe around so that I can show it to you. The upper actually says 23 on there. Look right here and you can see a number 2, and then right here and you'll see a number 3. The number 23 is sort of hidden invisibly in this shoe. Let's keep talking about the upper on this amazing pair of kicks. You're going to notice lace locks right here. Lace locks got their first start on the Air Jordan 5, and back in 1990, 91, 92, these were a real fad. You'll notice that this lace lock is more streamlined than the one on the Air Jordan 5, and after this Air Jordan, the lace lock disappeared until the Air Jordan 17, and the lace lock on that pair of shoes resembles the 5. Also have a look here at the toe. Michael Jordan requested that the shoe have a clean toe, and that reminds me of Steve Prefontaine asking Nike in the very early 70s for a one-piece toe. Tinker Hatfield did for Michael Jordan what Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight did for Prefontaine, and we've got this clean one-piece toe up here in the front. Let's go over here to the tongue. You're going to notice these pull tabs on here on the tongue. This was so Michael Jordan could put the shoe on easily. He complained that he was having trouble putting on other Air Jordans, so Tinker designed this tongue so that Michael could put his fingers through here to strap the shoes on. And also the same thing with this on the back tab, which Tinker said was a spoiler, inspired by the whale tail on the back of Michael Jordan's Porsche. You'll recognize the spoiler, and you'll also recognize the tongue from the 6 rings and the Spizike. Those are hybrid shoes that feature lots of the highlights from earlier Air Jordan models, and this shoe has bits and pieces on that shoe. When I look at this shoe, I can't help but think of the evolution of the Air Jordan line and how this shoe really builds on the Air Jordan 5 and serves as a nice transition to the Air Jordan 7. You gotta love this pair of kicks, and it's a great time right now because they're available for kids, for women, for everyone in the family. And back in the day, you could never get this colorway for everyone in the family. Anyway, I'm really excited to be here. I'm stoked to pick them up, and I can't wait to throw them on my feet.